I'm going to take a wild guess that you are fed up of yo-yo dieting and you want to finally break out of that cycle of losing some and then gaining some more that you have been stuck in for years. Well, you are in exactly the right place because that's what I'm going to help you do. So we are starting today with Fat Loss 101, the calorie deficit. I'm sure that by now you've heard that term 1,000,001 times, but what actually is it? A calorie deficit simply means consuming less energy than your body is burning. So say your body burns 2,000 calories a day, then eating anything less than that is going to have you in a deficit. And how much less than that you eat determines how much fat you lose how quickly. FYI, a calorie deficit is the basis of any diet in the history of the world that has ever worked. It's just often packaged in stupid ways, like counting your sins, for example. So how do we go about calculating a calorie deficit? We need to first work out how many calories your body actually burns on a daily basis, and this will vary massively from person to person. There are different ways of working this out. So for example, you could track your food intake every day and weigh yourself every day for a week, and if over the course of that week the scales come down, then you are likely already eating in a deficit. If they stay the same, then you're eating at your maintenance calories to maintain the current weight that you're at, and if the scales go up, then likelihood is you're eating a surplus of calories to what your body actually needs, and therefore you're gaining weight. Another simpler and quicker way of working it out is to go to an online TDEE calculator. So that is your total daily energy expenditure. This is just going to do a simple equation and work it out for you once you've put in your height, your weight, your age, and your activity levels. It will take all of those factors into account and give you a number. And then once you know roughly how many calories your body does burn on a daily basis, then you can go about working out how many you need to eat to be in a deficit. As a starting point, if you subtract 500 from that number, then that will give you a rough weight loss of around about 1 to 2 pounds a week, which, by the way, is absolutely fucking brilliant progress. You have been led to believe that it's not by all of these programs that promise that you can lose a stone in 30 days. Well, let me just ask you, how far have they got you so far? Have you actually lost that stone? No, you haven't. So just to give you an example, my body burns roughly 2,250 calories a day. So if I wanted to lose weight, I would, as a starting point, be going for 1,750 calories a day. How then do we go about sticking to this calorie goal? Because it's all very well wanting to eat less, but actually that can be difficult. So I've got a few tips to help make it easier. You will need to track your food intake using something like MyFitnessPal. When you're tracking, you need to do things like actually weighing out the ingredients for accuracy. It's no good just eyeballing it because it's going to be wildly inaccurate. You also want to be checking the information that comes up on the app against the nutrition information on the back of the packet just to make sure that it's accurate. It's also really important to remember things like the oils that you're using in cooking. For example, things like milk and sugar that you're putting in your coffee, that one biscuit that you have with your cuppa that you think doesn't count, the fish finger that you just grab off your kid's plate when they're done eating. All of these things will add up, so you've got to be completely honest with your tracking. How can we maximise and get the most out of our calories? Because let's be honest, we want to feel as good as possible whilst we're dieting. We don't want to feel hungry and miserable because that is a sure way to get you to give up before you've got anywhere. While I could technically lose weight by eating 1,750 calories worth of chocolate and crisps every day, I would feel like utter shite whilst doing so. And therefore, I would give up pretty damn quickly. It's not just about how much you're eating, the quality of what you're eating is actually really important as well. You want to think about getting adequate protein into your diet. So as a general rule of thumb, you want to aim for between 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So for example, I weigh 62 kilos, so I want to be aiming for roughly 120 grams of protein per day. Protein is not only going to help you feel fuller for longer, which when you're trying to eat less is really bloody helpful, it's also going to help to preserve your muscle mass and make sure that the weight that's dropping off is actually fat and not lean muscle. You also want to think about your food volume, and by this I mean eating as much as possible for your calories. So packing your meals, your plate out with things like fruit and veg is a really good way to feel like you're eating more for not a lot of calories. If you're eating more fruit and veg, you're also way less likely to overeat than if you were eating a lot of, say, processed foods. When you think about it, they are literally designed to make you want to eat more so that the people that make them make more money when you buy more. How hard is it to stop at just one biscuit or just a few Pringles? They are literally designed, like take Pringles for example, the way that they are designed, even down to the shape so that they fit so perfectly on your tongue, you just want to keep eating more. Even if you're not hungry, you just want more. When was the last time you couldn't stop eating broccoli? It's also a really good idea to think about calorie cycling to help you adhere to your deficit. So what I mean by this is taking calories from some days and putting them into others. This is really helpful if you've got social events coming up at the weekend. So you could Monday to Friday have 100 calories less than your goal, and then you've got an extra 500 calories that you can have on Saturday when you're going out for dinner, you've got a party to go to, whatever. It just gives you that bit more flexibility and a bit more wiggle room to enjoy those things. So there we have it, Fat Loss 101, the calorie deficit. I hope you found this helpful, and if you have, please hit like, hit subscribe, and if you've got any questions, you can find me over on Instagram at LaurenEmmaFit. Feel free to drop me a message.